flew up from Texas, and obviously you land in the Newark airport, and that's your first taste of Jersey, right? And you're like, oh, is this what it's like? All the smokestacks and things like that. And we start driving down the turnpike and take the exit, and we're driving down Ocean Avenue, and we're kind of getting wide-eyed. Like, this is where the college is? Like, this is incredible, right?
The Dissection with Erin Mulligan. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the Discussion Table series. This is episode 4. And today I'm speaking with Major League Lacrosse MVP Bryce Wasserman. Bryce, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. So I just want to start right at the beginning. You know, you grew up in Southlake, Texas. What drew you to lacrosse?
Yeah, so it's a funny story, right? Lacrosse really isn't that big in Texas. My dad never played. My mom never played. Literally, it was just at baseball practice as a young kid. Looked over the fence, saw lacrosse practice going on at the same time, and just thought that looked like a lot more fun than baseball. So I went home and told my parents I wanted to give it a try. So I switched in 6th grade and never looked back.
Nice. And fast forward to high school, as a sophomore, you attended the top 205 recruiting camp, and you ended that camp without any assists, without any goals. And so I figured, that must be some type of motivation. And I want to know, what did you do from sophomore year to senior year being able to commit to a D1 school being Monmouth?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a really eye-opening experience for me when I went up to Baltimore and participated in that camp, right? I was in Texas, not really a big lacrosse area. That was my first exposure to like real kids who had really been playing lacrosse since they were born. And like you said, it did not work out well for me. So it was a really eye-opening experience, and kind of had to sit down and look myself in the mirror. And I knew I loved the game, and I knew I wanted to play it for as long as I possibly could. So I saw what the standard was, and I knew that I needed to commit myself to kind of reach that standard that those kids set up on the East Coast, and never really let being a good player in Texas be my goal. I wanted to be a good player on the East Coast. So I think that really shaped my mentality and my work ethic from then moving on.
And then after you graduated college, you were drafted in the 7th round by the Denver Outlaws, but you didn't make the roster. You then ended up making your pro debut with the Ohio Machine. What was that entire experience like? Because it all happened within a matter of months.
Right. That was definitely a whirlwind. You go from the high of getting drafted to the harsh reality of how small pro lacrosse rosters are, right? There's 20 guys on each team, and there's 6 teams. So there's 120 spots, and that's it. So you kind of go from the high of getting drafted to the low of kind of realizing that it's going to be a little bit of a grind. I ended up getting released by Denver and signed by Ohio, which is another high, because I kind of had to work out on my own with no really hope of or knowledge of when my first opportunity of the pros is going to be. I just knew that I needed to be ready whenever I got that phone call. So moving forward, I finally got the call from Ohio, and 48 hours later, I'm in Columbus playing my first pro game. So yeah, it was a lot of up and downs, but I'm thankful that I kind of stuck by my training and everything like that over those months when I kind of was sitting at home waiting for my call.
Nice. And now fast forward even more to today, you're with the Boston Cannons, and this past season, you led them to their first championship since 2011. And then on top of that, you got MVP. Can you describe for me what it was like to win the championship and then to also win MVP?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty speechless about it even now, just coming from where I have, and the road that I kind of went on was the one less traveled, you could say. I mean, I was under recruited, second to last draft pick, getting cut, and then finally being on a championship team and winning that championship was something that was incredibly surreal. And then obviously winning MVP, I mean, it still hasn't really set in, just like my name being on that list of the all-time greats, right? Like I really don't think it'll ever set in, but it definitely was surreal, especially just like the path that I've been on.
Now, for a second, just outside of lacrosse, I have a totally random question, but I'm curious. You're a law student now at the University of Miami. How did you decide to pursue your law degree?
So it was always something that was in the back of my mind. I went to Monmouth and was a business major, actually, and I actually did the the 5-year MBA program. So I did that before I left Monmouth. I was a legal studies minor. I always loved the idea of like studying the law. I really wanted to use it to be a better businessman whenever I graduated in the finance world. But I actually ended up falling in love with my law classes that I took. Professor Tetra does a great job of running that department. He's the best. So shout out to Professor Tetra. But I really think I gravitated a lot to the law classes because it felt a lot like sports to me because it's very competitive. It's very one-on-one, you know, like it's you versus someone else in a courtroom, or it's your company versus another company, or in sports law, like you're representing a client against somebody, or you're representing a team against something. So I think I really gravitated to the competition aspect in a sense of those law classes. So I decided to apply for the LSAT. I found a really cool sports and entertainment law program down here at the University of Miami. I knew the score I needed to get. I got the score, got into school. So I figured this would be my next step. So yeah, I'm actually in fall of my second year.
Nice. I mean, you have so much on your plate, so many great things. What has kept you going? What's your motivation?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the motivation on the lacrosse end of things is I want to leave a legacy as one of the best of all time, right? I think that that's just always kind of been my goal. I've just kind of wanted to check boxes off and climb the ladder each level of lacrosse that I've gotten to. So I think that's really what pushes me on the field, and it paid off this summer. And I mean, my goal now is just to do it all again next year, right? Like I want to do it back to back now. So I think that that's what keeps me motivated on the field. Off the field, I obviously know that there's life after lacrosse, right? And I know that I want to do something that gets me up out of bed every day, and it's not a bore, and it's something different every day. And I'm really passionate about my legal studies and representing clients, and kind of starting to get into my job search now, which has been a lot of fun. So yeah, that I really want to kind of have the same kind of legal career that I've had on the field. And one day I'll be done on the field, probably around the time that I'm done with law school. And so I think that that's something that'll give me something to do once I'm done playing, right? I can go compete in the courtroom instead, which I'm really excited about.
Nice. In regards to Monmouth, you know, you're from Texas, so I want to know how you even found Monmouth and what was your experience like here?
Yeah, well, it was the best 5 years of my entire life. I love Monmouth. I guess I can start back in my recruiting process. So, like I said, I was under recruited. Monmouth was a brand new D1 men's lacrosse program. I actually committed my junior season before they even played a game. They didn't have their first inaugural season until the year after that. Um, so I came up here. It was just Coach Fisher and Coach Geeson. Didn't even have any assistant coaches yet. Didn't have a locker room. All we had was Kessler Field and the Ocean First Bank Center, and obviously the beautiful campus. So I mean, flew up from Texas, and obviously you land in the Newark airport, and that's your first taste of Jersey, right? And you're like, oh, is this what it's like? All the smokestacks and things like that. And we start driving down the turnpike and take the exit, and we're driving down Ocean Avenue, and we're kind of getting wide-eyed, like this is where the college is. Like this is incredible, right? So I think that was super cool, kind of like a big surprise. I mean, obviously you Google the school, but being in person, it was really special. And then Coach Fisher's pitch to help him start that program and be a key piece of building that team was something that no other college can offer because we were the only new program at the time, right? So I think that was something really cool, and being a part of that program and kind of being the footsteps for Pat or future teams to follow was something that was really special for like me and my class and the grade above us. And we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun on the field. We had a lot of fun together off the field. Obviously, like I come back to Monmouth every chance I get. I still say that when me and my roommate Alex, we all talk about one day we're gonna retire and buy Jacks and just live in Monmouth County and rot away there in our later years. So hopefully I'll be back soon.
Yeah. How would you say Monmouth has impacted you as a player and as a person?
Yeah, so as a player, I think it helped me a lot just because obviously the culture of our team was very different. I showed up in year 2 of the team, and so all of our upperclassmen were sophomores. We really didn't have any seniors. We had a couple junior college transfer guys who were juniors, but for the most part, it was all freshmen and sophomores when I showed up, and that's how we kind of built the team. So I think that really taught me how to take ownership of myself and my process right away. Obviously, at a big program, like if I were to have gone to Syracuse or Duke, there's seniors on that team that kind of shoulder a lot of the burden and kind of do a lot of things. And freshmen, you're just kind of wide eyed and don't really do much. But at Monmouth, we all kind of had to own up really early at like a very young age. And I think that really helped us a lot. And obviously the success that we had kind of goes to show that. And then just as a person, I think Monmouth is an incredible place. I think that they do a great job of engaging with students, and you're a lot more than just a number. And I think it really helped me, especially as like an extrovert kid, like be a part of a college class, a college environment, participating in class. And I really think that it builds you up to kind of go out into the real world as like a confident young adult, right? And you can kind of assert yourself into any room you go into. I think that that's something that we have as Monmouth graduates that, say, someone that went to Alabama or Rutgers doesn't have. They were just a number in a room full of 300 kids, right? So I think that that's something that I really cherish from my time at Monmouth.
I totally agree. I have one last question, fun question. While at Monmouth, what was your favorite place to eat?
So I love Jack's. Like I said, that's my go-to place. Literally, that's the first place I'll go before I even unpack my bags when I come to visit. Um, yeah, the happy hour deals there were incredible. Tim and Matt do a great job there. So I love that. I loved Gianni's, the chicken vodka wrap. I mean, like you can't go to Monmouth and not eat it all the time. So yeah, I'd say that those are my top two for sure.
Nice. Is there anything you want to say to the Monmouth team right now or the coaching staff?
Yeah, I can give a shout out to the coaching staff. I mean, I'm pretty bummed out that we're gonna miss homecoming this year. We usually do our alumni game homecoming weekend, and it's great to catch up with the staff and all the guys in the team. So I'm definitely gonna miss catching up with Coach Fish, Coach Giesing, Coach Lawrence, Coach Lou, sweet Lou, my guy. But and the current team. I mean, I was lucky enough to play with the current fifth year seniors when they were freshmen. So I'm really excited for them and kind of their full circle journey. So hopefully they can pull it together and win another conference championship. I'm excited to see them.
Nice. I mean, you're only 2 years out of college and you've had so much success. So on behalf of Monmouth, we're rooting for you and wishing you all the best. So thank you so much again for speaking with me today.
I appreciate it. This is great.